I think when you're a broadcaster, you always want to be number one, as though Grant Nisbet and Justin Marshall. That's human nature. And you want to challenge yourself. I knew I would never be number one. For the majority of my career with Sky, I was the colour reporter or the interview.
I just love that it's sitting on the corner of your house. It must mean lots.
A reporter of colour limited to reporting just colour. That could have been Melodie Robinson's story. But incredibly, she's gone from the lone Maori female on the sidelines to being one of the most powerful women in sports broadcasting.
Perfect. This is Mel's amazing award.
But starting out though, role models were hard to come by.
There weren't many, but there are actually just a few female sports journalists that really stood out to me at the time because they were so rare. However, they were quite different to me because I'm Maori and they were white. I was very rough and ready, bit of a tomboy, and they were very well behaved and well put out. So I was still missing, a role model that was like me.
A female and Māori, Melodie wasn't just missing a role model, she was missing that classic Palangi TV look.
Challenge that I had when I started out presenting and commentating was this obsession with my hair. It is Māori hair, it's curly, and there's a lot of Māori and Pacific Island girls who have hair like this. However, it wasn't seen as appropriate for being on TV. The irony is that I had a lovely makeup artist who was incredible, but she'd never really worked on Māori hair before. And so the hairdos that I used to have on Sky were half the time way worse than just actually having it natural. So eventually I just ended up going back to curly and they just tidy up my curl, and now you'll never see me with straight hair on telly ever again.
If trying to fit in on screen was hard, off screen things weren't fitting either.
The toughest was when I started, there weren't very many females on the road covering rugby, and so at times it could be really lonely. You're on the road with blokes 24/7. And I can remember one year I managed to go on the end of year tour. It was lonely and you had to really fight to be part of the crowd, but also to have turned that challenge at the beginning of trying to fit in and get invited out to now having long-lasting, beautiful friendships. So it's nice how it's changed.
And while change is definitely on the rise, with more brown female sportswomen on screen, Melodie's quest now is to create more opportunities for others.
What we have to do is keep bringing in a whole lot of different people to innovate, to bring new ideas, and women are very important. They're important to bring the female audience with us because they know what we want to watch. It's really important to have women in sport media because women's sport needs more coverage. It needs to be on big platforms. And it needs people who are really motivated to make sure it gets there.
They have this generalised idea in their head of what a brown girl's supposed to be like. So when I come in, they're like, you're half-half.
The next in line to take her shot is Symone Tafuna'i, one of Aotearoa's fastest sprinters. She's now chasing a new dream, to be a sports reporter.
We need to start writing our own stories, start producing it, start directing it, and just having the confidence to, tell the stories for our people, for once.
Here you go, Symone.
Thank you.
Melodie gave Symone her first break working in telly.
She came in, she knew who she was, she knew what she wanted to do with sports journalism, and she was really passionate about it.
What did Symone bring to her internship with you at TVNZ?
This is great. A young woman who has probably gained a lot of self-esteem through her sport and was studying hard, and she didn't come from a background where she was given everything handed to her on a plate, and she was just like this bright little beacon, and I was like, yeah, she's the one.
Starting as an intern at TVNZ, Symone is now the new digital sports reporter for One News.
I want to bring the Maori Pacific perspective to the role. I think it's really important for me to highlight them not only as a sports person, but also as a human being. I think there's a lot of people They put athletes or just sports people on pedestals and forget that they have their own mental health issues, their own life problems. So I really want to dive deep in behind the scenes and get to know them as a person.
We've had a really amazing type of person that's been in media for a long time, but it's been the same type of person. So we go and find people from different places. I like to look at the team and say, New Zealand, watching this, the audience can see themselves in my team.
My lecturer told me about Mel, and she came in for one of my assessments, and as soon as I saw Mel, I was like, that's it. I want to be like Mel. But like the Symone version.